Welcome to this week's video. Just thought I'd try something different. So, as I said in the last video, we're pulling the engine out. This is how far I've made it so far. Instead of draining the power steering, I just undo the power steering. Got the manifold off so we can fix those leaks I showed you. Again, we're going to weld that all to fix it. We are officially done up here. There's nothing left to do up top. We gotta go down on the bottom, undo the exhaust, the slave cylinder, then we gotta do the drive shaft, and I have to drain the fluid. And then we're ready to pull the engine hoist in, undo the 2 engine mounts and the transmission mount, and then we'll pull it out. Okay, so the engine is out, as you can see. Not too dirty, but we got the transmission off. That's the old one. And see how much I had to cut for the adapter plate. And then this is the new cd-009. So I went and this is the same thickness as the adapter plate, so I just set it right here and marked it with permanent marker. And then we're going to take the cutoff wheel, which I've already started, and then we're just going to notch it all the way across, and then we'll come back with the Sawzall and cut it off entirely. Okay, we got the transmission cut. This is the old one, and this is the new one. I think I did a better job on this one. I started swapping this over, which is the homemade bracket to shorten it, but this is the tall or long bracket, and this is the short style transmission. So I would have to modify this, and then I don't know if this is going to sit perfect anymore, so then I don't want to risk hurting any of these synchros. So I called my guys up at Excessive Manufacturing in Portland, Oregon, and they sell a cd-009 shifter bracket for swaps. So they hooked me up. If any of you guys do have cars with swaps or anything like that, they're the ones who gave me the subframe spacers and the actual plenum for the sr20vet. So it's that one right there. And those guys, they're good guys. They ship fast. Contact is great. We had a mix-up on my plenum because the VET uses the P11 oval style ports on the P12 runner. Like, this is a specific VET intake runner. So I had to ship this back. We had no issue though. So anywho, I called them. I got a new one. It should be in the mail before next weekend. Or it should be here. While I was at it, I decided I'd check and look at the state of my pilot bearing, which was not very good. So, I couldn't even pull it out. I broke my bearing puller trying to pull it out, and I ended up having to put a grinding bit on there, grind it, and then hammer it, or basically chisel it to break it out. So the transmission, that bearing that was bad was transferring all the way back into the input shaft and wobbling, so it destroyed the bearing. Hopefully my crank bearings are good, but the clutch It was used when I got it, so these spots were already missing. They don't look any worse, and everything looks like it seated quite well, because I resurfaced everything just with a grinder. And this is, it got dirty with me messing with it, but you can see the shine is all correct from where it's touching. Even, yeah, those heat spots, those are from the last time, the other clutch that was on here. So everything's holding up quite well on the 350 horsepower. So it's dug in a little bit, I can feel it, but that's to be expected. That's what you want on a ceramic disc. And that leak we saw earlier on the pan, right there, it looks like it's coming from that bolt hole and this bolt hole. So we're just going to take those two out and put Mega Gray on the threads. I don't want to break this loose because it's already been Mega Grayed and everywhere else it's sealed. And I don't want to break the seal and then do it again and hope it seals. We know that's sealed. It's just, you can actually see with the light, there's oil residue there, and it runs down here, goes on here. I don't know if this bolt's leaking too, but might as well take it out and Mega Gray it. So I already and now it's a rear-wheel drive engine again. Funny how that's the only thing that separates it. That and where the throttle body sits. But as you can see in the GoPro footage, I walked it back so far. I went off screen from the GoPro. So I turned it off, but I put it back here. I went and got my drive shaft. Put it in neutral, spun it, and then knocked it into gear and spun it, and just by doing it in neutral, it freed it up enough to actually get it to line up and go in there. But you'll see on the GoPro, it was fighting me. But as you can see, the cut is so much better now, where before most of this was not touching the adapter plate. The black is just from the marker, and see it's touching almost everywhere. So we shouldn't have bolts backing out like we had before. This had broken off of the old transmission, and we were able to keep the tab this time. So this was actually pushed out quite a bit, and we had to suck it up. It's still not all the way. I'm letting it form to this, and then we'll run it in some more. But then I have this makeshift bracket holding to the this bracket to the bottom of the transmission, which we'll pull this out, put a longer one in, and redo that. But I need to find a nut first. So yeah, need to start taking this apart now. But I think this is a good spot to end the video. I don't have many, but I would like to thank the sponsors that, not necessarily sponsors yet, but just companies that have helped me so far. I have a really good friend at Milwaukee who's helped me with all my Milwaukee tools. So shout out to Ryan. Shout out to Guy at Excessive Manufacturing for all the stuff they've supplied. Injector Dynamics, they've been really good to me. Haltech, they hooked me up with my ECU, and I use their other products as well. Also to you fans, the ones who subscribe and like. So start liking and subscribing. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, at that note, make sure you like and subscribe, and